Good morning, dear students. I'm Dr. C.R. Venkateswara Rao, Professor of Chemistry. I'll be explaining to you the principle of NMR spectroscopy. Before I actually go into the principle, I need to give a brief account of nuclear spins because it is the nuclei that play the vital role, important role in nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. So what is nuclear spin? So nuclear spin is related to the nucleon composition of a nucleus defined by spin quantum number. So basing on the spin quantum number, we have three different possibilities. So I can be spin quantum number, can be fractional spins, it can be integral spins, it can be zero spin. So fractional spins means the values can be half, 3 by 2, 5 by 2, etc. And examples are hydrogen 1, carbon 13, boron 11, such kind of nuclei. So here what happens is protons plus neutrons are odd. So these fractional spin nuclei are very important for from the point of view of nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. And the second category are integral spin nuclei. That means their spin quantum number is having values of 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And examples are hydrogen 2 nucleus, hydrogen 14 nucleus, and also there are many other nuclei. So nuclei with even mass and protons and neutrons both being odd is the characteristic feature of this category. And third category, zero spin nuclei. So examples are carbon 12, carbon 16, etc. So here nuclei with even mass. So protons and neutrons both even. So like that, basing on spin quantum number, we have three different possibilities. So magnetic and non-magnetic nuclei. So for nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, we need magnetic nuclei. Non-magnetic nuclei are of no use to us. So I is greater than 0 is a magnetic nucleus and it possesses spin angular momentum, produces magnetic moment when spins about its axis. And I is equal to 0 nucleus is non-magnetic, and these nuclei with even mass number and even atomic number, and they have a 0 magnetic moment. So uh, overall, half integral spin nuclei with half integral spin, the first category, are very important from the point of view of nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. So that's why we have hydrogen 1 NMR spectroscopy, carbon 13 NMR spectroscopy, and so on. So now let me come to the principle of NMR spectroscopy. Just as a spinning mass will precess in a gravitational field, magnetic moment associated with spinning spherical charge will precess in an external magnetic field. So frequency of precession is proportional to the strength of the magnetic field, which is given by the Larmor formula. Omega 0 is equal to gamma into B0. Gamma is gyromagnetic ratio, which is characteristic of a particular nucleus. In the absence of fractional magnetic field, these orientations are of equal energy. If a magnetic field is applied, then energy levels split. As you can see here in this diagram, these red balls are nuclei. So spinning nuclei. So these spinning nuclei act like a bar magnet. So north pole and south pole. So they are oriented randomly. And these nuclear spins are oriented randomly in the absence of external magnetic field, but will have specific orientations in the presence of field. So when you apply a field, all these randomly oriented spins would get aligned. So when nuclei that are aligned parallel with external magnetic field are irradiated with proper frequency of electromagnetic radiation, which actually falls in radio frequency region, the energy is absorbed and nuclei spin flip. So the spin of the nucleus uh, becomes opposite. So spin flips to higher energy anti-parallel alignment. So nuclei that undergo spin flip in response to applied radiation are said to be in resonance with applied radiation. So here in this diagram, you can see that randomly oriented nuclear spins become aligned, some of them parallelly, some of them anti-parallelly to the field. So this is what is the splitting of energy levels. So you can see here in this diagram, so there is splitting of energy levels here. So one is a lower energy state, the other one is higher energy state. Lower energy state is the spins are aligned with the applied magnetic field, and upper energy level the spins are aligned against the applied magnetic field. So spin is plus half in the down level, and spin is minus half in the upper level. So absorption frequency is not the same for, say, all the hydrogen nuclei in an organic compound. I'm taking an example here where hydrogen is present. So hydrogen is present in most of the organic compounds, and hydrogen NMR is the most prominent NMR spectroscopy technique. So nuclei are surrounded by electrons, and different types of hydrogens may be in different chemical environments in the same molecule. So electrons set up tiny local magnetic fields that act in opposition to applied field, shielding the nucleus. So here, electronic cloud shields the nucleus from the full effect of external magnetic field. So effective field actually felt by the nucleus is now different. So effective field is equal to applied field minus local field. So here you can see the higher the frequency, the higher the field that is required. Gyromagnetic ratio of gamma, which is characteristic of the substance or the nucleus, remains constant. So this is the precision of the nucleus. So nucleus is precessing under the influence of external magnetic field. And precision definition is the circular movement of the magnetic moment in the presence of the applied magnetic field. And the frequency with which it precesses is called as Raman frequency. So it is the angular frequency of the precision. And the gamma is gyromagnetic ratio, which is characteristic of a particular nucleus. And the technique of NMR involves the study of the properties of molecules containing magnetic nuclei by means of the application of a magnetic field and observation of frequency at which they come in resonance with radio waves. So the spectrometer, NMR spectrometer, basically consists of a magnet, a radio frequency source, and a detection system, aided by a computer and extensive electronics to control all these systems. As you can see here, you have an electromagnet with the north pole and south pole, sample holder where you take the sample, and two radio wave coils. So one coil is for input, another coil is for output. So you will be inputting some radio waves, and then sample responds by giving radio wave output. So that output will be sending it to the electronics, and then it is processed by using computers, and then you will get the NMR spectrum. So this is how the NMR spectroscopy works. This is the principle of NMR spectroscopy. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. Thank you very much.